Good evening. Welcome back to Follow Me Will Legends podcast this Thursday evening with myself and not Stan Gordon because he's not in yet. He's stuck in traffic, but he'll be joining us very soon. We feature the greatest ever Rangers legends, Rangers supporters clubs and bars from all around the world. We'd like to welcome our amazing sponsors who are on board supporting the podcast: the Gallant Pioneer Blackpool, the Gart Craig Pub, VIP Ices, Cube Glass, Country Carpets, Avia Signs, Croft Construction, Impact Signs, Ernut Builders and EK Blinds and Shutters. Please check out their social media pages and websites for more information. Remember, if you're on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe to our show. Or if you're on any of our other social media platforms, remember to like, comment and share. Also, get your questions in early tonight as we give a very warm welcome to one of our sponsors of the show, Mr. Alan McRae, and Rangers legend. He's blue, he's white, and he's dynamite, Mr. Ian Durrant.
Hello.
Evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
How are you doing? Very well, thank you.
You're all right. It's great to have you back on the show, Ian, and it's good to have you here, Alan.
Thanks very much for the invite.
I'm a wee bit nervous because obviously Stan's got the first question for you, Ian, right? But
I'd far rather you done it, Lynsey, than Big Stan. Stan usually, for what I've seen, he always gets something wrong anyway.
Right, well, here we go then. So it's great to have you back. You've had your knee operation since you were last on the show. How's it going?
Fighting fit. Just mastered the stairs there. So Ricky, not for investing in lifts on the stairs. Everything's fine. That's about 6.5 months now since I've had the knee up. Badly needed, but on the road to recovery. The golf's getting better, and then looking forward to a wee bit of winter sun soon.
Brilliant. You're off to Mauritius soon, aren't you?
Off to Mauritius in the next week or two, myself and the good lady, and obviously looking forward to that again.
She's got you spoiled.
Oh, well, to be fair, I did spoil her for 35 years, so one year out of the 35 is not bad.
Alan, thank you for coming on to the show tonight. Can you tell us a wee bit about Avia Signs and your company?
Well, Avia Signs was originally started in 2005 when I decided to sort of leave my engineering background and go and do signage. I basically started in a double garage, and now we're turning over about £2.5 million a year, and we've got 22 of our staff, and we do a lot of work for the football club, and we do a lot of house building contracts and stuff like that. We do a lot of signage with Ricky as well, to be fair. Thanks for that, Ricky. And no, but everything's good.
And I know obviously you're a big Rangers fan. How long have you been supporting the club for?
Jesus.
2 weeks.
I've just after the Champions League. I'll start my first season ticket in 1976 in Section F in the main stand. I think that's where the players' wives and all that sit now. Then 1986 we moved over to the Broomlin. No, Govan Rear, the yellow section. So we had about 4 or 5 seats there, and I've still got these seats to this day. So, and I've now got seats in hospitality and stuff like that. But it's a long time when you say 1976, you're now at 2022. It's a long time. So I've seen some.
You used to get them comps, don't let you carry on.
The wee man sorted me out.
He befriended us. We went on a trip to Magaluf, which we're not discussing. We used to get them comps after that.
To be fair, that's where I met my wife. I hope she's listening.
Hey, look, darling.
Ian, Mr. Souness came in as manager, right? How much did he change the club, and did you enjoy playing alongside him?
Changed the whole of Scottish football. He came in. At first we couldn't believe it, and then you realise the papers that it was Mexico at the time, the World Cup, and then me and Derek were ironically in Magaluf, and then we seen a Daily Record, Graham Souness being next manager. So that was me and Derek thinking now he's going to want to play. So it's down to me and you who's going to play beside him, but he was great. Now his first signings, Terry Butcher, Chris Woods, Colin West come up. And you see the likes of Trevor Francis, Ray Wilkins, all quality players alongside. Like myself, Coisty, David Cooper. A lot of them were retained, a lot were let go. But he just came in and clean slate, got a lot of money to spend. At that time, I think they were offering the best wages. Terry Butcher, he had the chance between Man United and Rangers, choose Rangers. And that was the sort of pool Graham had. Similar to a couple of years ago when Steven Gerrard took over, the sort of players he was getting. Now,
what he was able to bring into the,
of course,
the club.
Now Graham, like Steven, was now a novice as a manager, first job, player manager. And but he's got a name, and he's certainly a lot of charisma, as I've found it a few times. There'll be a few fines, a few misdemeanours, but he was great alongside Walter, and it was a great double act.
Well, that was going to be one of my next 3 questions for you as well. Obviously, I know you were so very close to Walter. How do you think that he changed your game?
There's always a good cop and a bad cop, and obviously with the gaffer still playing, and what was the buffer? Now, the assistant manager was the one you can go to, and if you need to speak to somebody, Graham was at the time, now, as I said, playing, and still trying to manage and play at the same time, which he found quite hard, but he was still a quality player. But the Walter was always the one that took a training. He was the one you could relate to, the one you could talk to, and also the one if you're when having the best again, the gaffer will let you know. And now Graham used to let you know in the part, but then Walter will get you after the game and tell you. So you're getting a double whammy.
So Walter was like your big influence on your game.
Massive influence in it, not just on the game, but off the park as well, and became great friends.
Brilliant. That's Stan the man arrived. Evening, Stan. I'll just give him a wee minute to get his headphones on. I'm so glad he's here.
Car breakdown.
The mate's horrendous.
Okay.
You got your breath back after all these stairs?
No.
Just take your time. No rush. Stan has got the quiz for you, so here we go. Right, Stan.
How are you turned into?
Let's get this on camera. Oh, wait, this is lovely.
Right, so
Oh, look at this.
for the quiz, I was wanting you to ask 2 questions that wouldn't be on Wikipedia about yourself.
Right.
The fans, maybe no.
Ask me.
Aye.
My first goal in Europe for Rangers, obviously. So that, who was the team I scored my first goal against in Europe?
Right, okay.
Right, and that's the prize, Lynsey.
So it's a Rangers scarf, is that right?
Yes, from my Jers.
From my Jers. Looks
Jers. Lovely.
You
Before I stopped buying
need
that.
26,000 points to get one of them.
you must be gold there, huh? Get
Platinum.
Right, Stan, we're on to this bit here.
Right.
Right, about your wee question there.
Right. Ian, the Saturday thought sweet with you for the Champions League home games. It was a hard watch. You had great success with Rangers in Europe. What would you say was your favourite match in Europe?
Oh, there's plenty. Everybody remembers the Marseille game, the goal. But we had some great tussles before that against Leeds. Always comes back to that. That's my 2 standout games in Europe. Battle of Britain. Again, we were given no chance now by the English press, but the team we had at that time didn't know when to give up. Your Ferguson, McCalls, your McCoys, Hatelys, the goalie. We love him, Bomber, Goffey, and we had a great team, and we just fitted in. And when we got Leeds, it was the draw we wanted. Now, when it went to Leeds Stuttgart, every Rangers player in that dressing room wanted to have a crack at Leeds because we knew we'd have a chance. But given the draw, we were given no chance, especially my boy John Sadler, who used to work for the Sun. And when we went down there, he's basically written us off after the 2-1 home win at Ibrox. But we knew within the squad what we had, and we had two good guys up front who enabled to Mark scored the first one, and also Super scored the next one.
And yet they had Cantona too, who went on to be.
He wasn't that night, but that's what he went on to have an unbelievable player with Man United. Did Gordon Strachan, Gary McAllister, Gary Speed, Rocastle, Dorigo. There's a host of international players, but we had a winning mentality at that time, Stan. Now we were very hard to beat, and it just coincided now with the run Europe. We were unbeaten in Europe a year. I think it was about 45, 46 games unbeaten. And we had a great ball to win, and we beat them home and away, which was no mean feat because they hadn't been beat at Ellen Road, even in the English division. And we were the first team to go down there, and I think it was maybe 18 months to go and beat them.
I remember Bomber saying to me that the first couple of minutes of the game,
by the scoreboard could have blown up in the first 3 minutes.
But the goalie had a right good save against Cantona, and it kind of set the tone, didn't it?
It did.
He just rattled them right away.
Yeah, I think he played a ball between Goffey and Bomber, and Bomber had to get into stride after 15 years. So I think Bomber's running treacle, and Cantona was through. And the goalie pulled off a great save, and then he was absolutely immense that night. The goal, along with Bomber. I mean, now Bomber, you know what you get for Bomber. He was just 100%, and he took it upon himself to look after Cantona, and what a job he done.
One of the funniest things about Europe, Bomber told the story with you and him. I think it was Juventus.
No, it was in Italy. And we were talking, and I just turned around to Bomber and I said, "Well, now Del Piero had a 15-minute cameo. Or Big Goffy's usual now." Big Goffy's come out after 18 minutes. We've got 20 minutes. It's not now. He's like, no, it's 18 minutes, Goff. We've not 20 minutes yet, and it's still 0-0. 22 minutes for 3-0 down. and Archie goes, right, get it. Archie's like, go and get warmed up, and I'm like, Bomber. I goes, what do you think, Bomber? I think he's got to change it. And Bomber said, I hope no, boy, because this could be 3 or going on 8, and then the twos were warming up. But I think Bomber got on the second half. I never, but they were a different grade. They were a brand new Bristol Juventus at that time.
That was the one
we Alec clearly ended up with Del Piero's down that Rosehead or something like that.
Yeah, that game well.
Aye.
The Stadio de Alpi, wasn't it?
Aye. Juventus over the 2 legs. I think they beat us about 8-2
Oh.
or 8-1. They beat us 4-0 at Ibrox,
I
didn't they?
think Big Goffy scored at Ibrox, didn't he?
I think he scored in Juventus. He scored in Juventus. But
Aye, it was 8-1 in aggregate or something. They beat us.
it was brilliant. They took off Del Piero, and I think it was another Macedonian boy, and brought on Vialli and Ravanelli.
Even when you look at that run in Europe as well, and you look at the Marseille team as well. I mean,
they were different
Bolly,
class.
the Champs, the boy up front, Rudy Voller, Big Elvis is still chasing him about that.
The boy, honestly, who ended up, he got in the World Cup the next year, Alan Boksic.
That's right,
and,
the Croatian boy.
Croatian boy, Desai in Basel.
And the goalkeeper, the boy that ended up going to Man United.
Yeah, but he was nearly minus a hand if he'd have connected my shot. That's another story.
You scored to get us through into the section, didn't you? Was it Lyngby?
Lyngby. And
you scored away for him. Was it that?
That was in the Park Estate. That was a great stadium.
And then we went to Belgium and we played Bruges.
Bruges, that's right. And we went
to.
to.
Beat him that night, shouldn't we?
That was with a few chances. I think Peter had a great chance late on. And then with the CSK Moscow, with again, some of the Leeds, we had the first minutes dramash where they had about 6 attempts on goal. And it was hitting Bomber in the face, hitting the goal in the face. David Robertson toe poked it away. Somebody kept it in, and then they were back. Now got the ball back and attacked us. Then even Ferguson got a deflected shot. That was in Bochum, I think.
That's right. They played it in Germany.
Because of the weather
in Germany.
I remember it was absolutely Baltic.
Freezing, was it?
Honestly, Lynsey, you ought to see it. See about 10 minutes to go, we're 1-0, and I think now the Bears just try to keep warm. And they'd all the Russian hats on the road, and they can't go down. And you see the Russian military now with a Rangers tab, and you see a wee guy from Post or Cannon Park, big bad Russian hats.
They were running about with them. They were running about with them for years at Ibrox, weren't they, hats?
I'm too young to remember that.
Oh no, check out, it's brilliant. Honestly, you should have seen it after the game. At the airport, they all the Russian military hats.
Right, Ronald Copeland's put a wee thing. It's not actually a question here, it's more of a statement, but you'll probably be able to touch on it, Ian. So in later years at Ibrox, I thought you were more of a central midfielder, as you were very comfortable with both feet. What do you feel about that?
I would have loved to have been, but I couldn't get a game for McCall and Ferguson, and then obviously Gaza coming in. And at that time, we just, myself and Peter Huster, and remember Mikhailichenko would fit the other bits of the jigsaw. And Lynsey, at that time, you were just happy to get a jersey now. When you've seen now the calibre of players now, loud up Gaza, obviously the players I said now, Fergie and McCall, they were absolutely immense in the middle part. And Fergie was over, he's away back to Australia, and with a wee giggle at the weekend. But they were. I remember that the gaff used to talk about the spine of the team going through it, and you look at about now the goalie, Bomber and Goffey, Ferguson, McCall, and Haitley, McCoy. Now right through the middle of the team, the other two bursts, right back, left back, wide left or wide right, were taking up with other players. And as I said now, if you were given the opportunity, you took that jersey no matter where you wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of changed your game, but didn't you?
I had to know.
Box to box, and then you kind of.
I still could do box to box, but it just took me a wee bit longer to get back.
We were talking about that 2 weeks ago with Kevin Winkle. We were talking about Wally, Mark Waters. And I said, I still use him sometimes for the Legends game. He still does that step out. He
doesn't go anywhere. Mark Waters, remember we went to Hong Kong and Mark Waters done his calf coming off a plane. Come down the stairs and he pulled his calf. Honestly, he must have been doing doggies up doing that flight for London to Hong Kong, Stan. That was big. Big Stan had us walking up down now for getting the circulation going on the flight. But it was getting me Charlie was doing a circulation and come back with 10 beers for the back of the plane.
Oh God! Oh, is that John? John Patterson's commented. Let's see what John's put. Why was Stan late? He's just finished his interview with Piers Morgan. See you all on Saturday. We'll see you on Saturday.
There the goalies boy there.
Oh, Danny.
Oh, Daniel, good luck. How is his son?
Switch your mic on, Stan. Evening, guys.
All right.
Oh, it's a malfunction, Ricky. What's going
Oh,
on?
there we go.
I actually thought he wasn't talking. He was just shouting at me.
I hope everybody heard you.
Oh,
There's somebody there with your first goal.
no, wrong.
No, wrong.
No.
Right, okay.
And Brian Hood, you're wrong, Tate.
I know your brother Robin.
That's I can see it on now. They're all saying my mic wasn't working. Lucky yous.
That was a bonus fees.
Right, let's see.
Just when you're talking about Charlie Muller there, I was with John Gagan a couple of weeks ago there, right?
Sensational.
And Gagan says, I was at the goalie's book, his book right, signing, right? He says, absolutely brilliant. He says, there were 500 there at the book signing. He says, and I'm sitting right in the middle. I'm the speaker. He says, and to the right of me is the great Brian Laudrup. He says, to the left of me is the up-and-coming star, Charlie Muller. He says, I was starstruck. He says, and I'm sitting between them, and I turns in and looks at Laudrup. Laudrup goes, this is fantastic to be here. The goalie's book launch. He says, I can't believe I'm here. He says, and I looked at Charlie Muller, and Charlie says, I hope he's not watching.
Honestly, can't say that with you, Chico. Oh, man.
Right, no, it's you.
Oh,
You
it's me.
again. I've been doing my questions.
All right.
Mine we started at 7.
Yeah. Mr. Soonest come in as manager.
Done that
Done
one.
that.
All right.
Come on, Stan, sort yourself out.
You're done here.
Whatever.
Let's take 5. And for the late call viewers,
See, you
this will
should
be back
come
on
in-
at 12
you could
o'clock.
have come in late.
We're here.
Alan, you must have a game you attended where Ian was outstanding that you can remember.
Aye, without a shadow of a doubt. I think it was one of the first live televised Old Firm games when the late Davy Cooper just tormented him and he come across the 18-yard box at the Colburn Road end. And there must have been 4 or 5 Celtic players trying and just slipped the ball into wee Durrant. And Pat Bonner come out, wee Durrant, just put it past him. And seriously, I think Cooper put the mitre the right way up for him. He actually couldn't miss it. It would have been harder to miss.
No, I told him
Cooper ran over it.
he was out of order. He put it, and I nearly hurt my foot in the valve, right? I would have had the mitre sign, and there's no day, honestly, I've seen you bring it up, there's no a day goes by that somebody, what did you blank Coop for?
He ran
That's
past
right,
him.
you ran
He
by him,
past
I
him.
know.
Somebody's just put that on.
know.
Bim. Just said
For the
that.
viewers, there's a wee mechanism goes off in your head when you score against Celtic, and you're oblivious to what's running about you. Honestly, you are. And my brothers were in the enclosure that day, and my first thought was to see going out my brothers because I knew they were standing.
Aye.
I never seen them.
But you scored a few goals against him, even the one in the League Cup final.
Yep, that was just right after it as well.
That's right, aye.
Yeah, I'd actually scored against Celtic like 3 games. If you look at it, the 3 games I played now, that game, the 1-0 game, the League Cup game, and I missed 2 games, and then the 3rd game back I scored again. So I'd actually scored like 3 goals.
The one at Hampden, the one you scored against Celtic, I thought you were outstanding. In the Aberdeen game, I thought we were running on empty. We went to extra time, and you were just still running up in the park as if it was the first 5 minutes.
That was the games we had then. They were all high class games against Aberdeen. Now the cup finals, if you remember them.
Oh, they were.
I remember it. Obviously, scoring the winning penalty, but the following year after that, Ian Ferguson, Coyce, and that, what a game! I think
Fergie's goal.
3-2 of his now his scissor kick.
Aye, some
They were
goal as
they were
well.
fantastic games at the Old Town. Then it was some atmosphere there. Now the Rangers end.
It was brilliant.
Maybe going to the Rangers end, you know, if there was a goal scored or a penalty, you never see the game for 10 minutes. Now with the dust. I was at the cup final when Redford missed. I swear to God, we didn't know he'd missed. I was like, he had the big black cheechy eyes. No, I remember.
The game we went to, Bomber was injured, and you were coming back for your injury, your knee.
Remember the
Mate,
Stonefield Tavern Loyal?
Aye, we left the Blanton on the way down to the game. That'd be about 96 or so, 95.
A 16-seater with 36 in it.
Aye, big ass.
Manchester United ahead.
Listen, the boy was shouting is Stan usual. Stan's that he he was looking after it. He was in the front. So when we were in the corner, the boy was shouting, "Right, brace yourself." We're all holding on in case the bus tipped out.
We get out the bus by and somebody says, "Are you not playing today?"
No,
it was 5 minutes to kick
We're
up.
in the Rangers and the Sardines, and the boy thought, "Bomber, you're not playing today."
No, I'm not playing today.
Bomber's like, "Aye, I'm just doing a warm up, pure shot."
Archie McCaig's asking Stan, how much does Ian remember about
I
the
know a lot.
Rococo Club with Fergie?
Rococo and Hamilton.
Rococo?
What night?
That was a Monday night.
A Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Monday. Monday was the soul night. That was a great night.
4 nights.
Have we got anybody with the answer yet?
Well, Brian McDougall's asking a question. What was the first Euro goal versus, what does it say? Gladbach at Ibrox.
So it was.
That's the one.
Well done. Is that the first one to do it?
That's the one.
Get
We've done,
in?
Brian McDougall.
That's, I'm sure it is the first
Yep.
person.
Oh no, there one there. Was that first?
What one?
Well,
Yep.
7-14.
oh, Jelly.
Gillian Williams
Right,
got
Jelly.
it.
that the
It's
first
got,
one?
it's got to go to Jelly. Well done, Jelly. Now a wee scarf for you, darling. That'll keep you warm.
Yep. Just send us in your details, just messages, and we'll get it sent out to you.
That'll cost you 26 points.
for my jers.
So that's the quiz. So we've got Blackpool on Saturday.
Yep.
Alan, you're coming along?
Yes, go down
Saturday.
tomorrow.
We've got-
Just to acclimatise.
Yeah, no, you'll enjoy it, won't you?
Aye,
Oh, you
definitely.
love it, aye.
He's been before, hadn't you,
I
Alan?
never made
Aye.
out that night. I wasn't well.
Aye.
That's right.
I ended up Mark Kelly's on the Friday night. Never made out this Saturday night.
That's what you did, remember?
I wasn't well.
Just wear a pair of shorts to Gallant Pioneer because you'll probably not stick air conditioner on the sweat box. Even in the end of November, start of December, it'll be a sweat box.
Oh man.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting down.
I can't wait. I love this gig. It's a good one.
It's a new.
It's
We've
a
got
good
it in
one.
the Imperial Hotel this year, so
minted, isn't it?
not been in there yet. So
John will still need to let me know if I need to take my speakers.
not as good as the one I booked me new early, was it?
Honestly, even Faulty Towers made that look like MGM.
We talk about hotels. What about the hotels in Napoli?
Oh, well, I tell you, the one me and Trish landed in, honest to God, it was like Beirut.
Honestly, our hotel was opened in 1908. I don't think it'd been decorated since 1908.
It's not bad for Napoli. It's a nice wee place, but isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, it was lovely.
What about yourself, Alan? Have you got anything? I see you came in with your notepad there.
was just-
Have you got anything that you want to ask?
I don't like to start me.
I do. That's what we're here for.
I would just like to talk about the state of the team, the clubs, and
We've got that there. What we're going to say here about what's your thoughts on Hearts last week, Al? What's
Hearts.
last week? One each.
No, St Mirren.
No, Hearts. We played we 1-1 against Hearts.
Aye,
Sorry.
aye.
What was your thoughts on that game?
Again, I think the main objective for everybody for the club was to try and get to the winter break without dropping any points and without going any further behind them than what we were before. And now we've ended up in a situation where we're now 9 behind them.
I know.
And you're just looking at that team and
Even
no-
though it was a win against Hearts, it was a
I
poor
thought the
show.
second half was a lot better.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
but
created a few chances.
Griggs had a save in the first quarter now when the boys cleaned through.
Yeah, the ball over the
He's got to
top,
come-
Gianelli.
He's got to come right out of the box.
That's what keepers are for, but that's for them. That's the,
Yeah.
they're the last line of defence now. They play. a wee
I know we're carrying a lot of injuries, but we'll talk about that later.
that was on it.
That was at the game, obviously, and I wasn't impressed at all. What do you think yourself?
Hearts. I thought second half they played themselves a lot better. Tillman got the goal. The games are sticky just now, but there's no getting away from it. The amount of injuries they've got, and you can see there's a cloud hanging over the players. There's not a lot coming off them. Maybe he can't freshen up as much as he can now. Maybe I was looking for a wee Lauda, but I see he's still struggling with injury, and maybe be Lauda might have give us a wee spark. Now the youth now, Big Leon's come in done real well, but it's been the same players, and I'm not getting away from now. We've been playing poor, very poor in terms of what they set last year in terms of the standards, but. Now, no team in the world can go away with the amount of injuries Rangers are having now. There's a full team in that treatment room who could now, in any given day, could play in the first team.
I still feel you've got Goldson get injured early on there, and how they think. No, I'm not talking about Gio because Gio doesn't get a choice in it. But how the board can think that they can operate with two centre halves. A guy taking them from midfield and playing them at centre half and playing a young boy 18 as a leading centre half.
I know,
Forget
needs
it.
must. That comes with territory to stand.
I think you've got to get an emergency loan in there, wee man.
Maybe the manager think maybe he thought Hollander was coming back far quicker than he was. Haji's been a big miss. I was surprised they never kept Balogun on.
No, I'm the same. I liked him. Did you like?
I liked Big Balogun.
And again, but maybe Gio now with Davis coming in. Davis gets injured. Suter get injured. He shouldn't have played in the cup final. Played in the cup final just because he was a Hearts player. And it just seemed now one combination that now injured after another. Roof missed pre-season. So did Lowry, to be fair. And now, as I said, now Hollander maybe he'll be back after the World Cup.
Is he?
Hadji. Well, hopefully. Now, as I see, he was back doing light training, but in what capacity, I don't know.
Aye. I felt
we can't afford to the amount of people sitting on. We've got to look at something as a club. Is it the training? Is it the medical department? Why have we got all these injuries?
Well, Hollander and Hadji, they've been
long term.
They've been serious injuries. And Roof now, he's been stop-start since he came out. I mean, when he's been fit,
He's a good
he's
player.
been an excellent player.
I know, I like him.
Morelos again got injured, and he's been sadly missed again now.
It's
Doesn't
Alan.
look fit enough just now.
Is Ryan Jack back? Is he?
Aye, he's played a wee
he played,
bit.
didn't he?
He was
Played a
in
bit.
Turkey last night, wasn't
But there's another thing with
That's
that. I know. I was in the suite last week, and it was wee Ryan Jack. He was getting interviewed, and he says, "I can't wait to go away with Scotland next week." And he's not played a game for us yet. And I said, "Surely somebody's going to say to him, listen, you play for Rangers."
In fairness, I know Jacko. I know him quite well, and Jacko needs to be playing.
He needs the game time.
He's got to be playing. But I tend to agree with you on that one as well. When he actually said to me he was going away with Scotland, I says, he's not played since he came off against Liverpool.
No, I know.
I mean, and you're going away with
And I couldn't believe it. No, I'm looking for.
Was that his first game back against St Mirren?
Aye.
that was that, aye.
And he took off. Did they know? I think they took him off.
Scotland?
No,
No, he was a sub against
He
St Mirren.
came on as a sub.
he came on just sub. Aye,
And
right, aye.
He won the last 25
Aye.
minutes.
And then he went away with Scotland, and that's all we fit off him was 25 minutes for he get his injury. So
Maybe the club's viewing it and getting some game time. I know it's not ideal, but he's well thought of in Scotland set up a lot now. Stevie Clark thinks a lot of him, but the club's got to protect their own. You're right there.
he got injured twice away with Scotland. Do you know what I mean? And I think he got a wee bit weary. Aye, but going back to what you were saying there, Alan, I'm listening to other people, and I don't know enough, but they're saying that the way Gio trains the team, it's not a lot of training, it's all ball work, and this is how there's a lot of injuries coming up. Whether that's true or no, I don't know.
I don't think we look fit.
And they don't like the training, and that's one of the reasons. When you see some of the players that were sharp last season, but they're no.
They're miles off.
I think a lot of it's confidence. Now that a lot of people look at the fitness levels, but it's the same training regimes that we're doing up until the Scottish Cup and the Europa Cup final, where they were now running.
Aye, they were playing extra time
And extra
going
time,
on Saturdays
and I
Sundays
don't
and
think
going
much
again.
has changed. I think maybe the pre-season, but a lot of people look into things and they'll come up with try to come up with answers.
Aye,
I think it's just a lack of confidence and also a lack of now quality players that are injured.
I think the Liverpool game done us a lot of serious damage at Ibrox.
Aye.
Confidence-wise, I think
that was a killer.
it killed us.
But we couldn't have held with in the first half, and that's the
We've done
sad thing
against
about
every
it.
team. Ajax,
And
Napoli.
And I think
But
that's
we're well
where
in
it
the
comes
game
down to the
against
fitness. I think that's where it comes down to the fitness. Plus, it comes down to your substitutions
You're looking at
because you're not bringing anybody on that's going to make a difference to
if you could bring on
the team that's already there. You pick the best team, but
Aye.
we've got nothing on the bench now.
But if you had the Hadji fit, a Roof fit, a Morelos a lot fitter, and these might be game changing in substitutions.
Aye,
Just now,
I agree with you.
he's not got a lot to pick to. You
No.
see some of the benches need something to put all the kids on, which I don't mind. If the kids are good enough, they'll get a chance. Simple as.
See out with the injuries we've got and they all come back. Do you think there's anywhere in the team we do need to strengthen?
Of course, if you ask the manager, I'm sure he'd bite your hand off. Now, they can't get through the season with injuries, and he'll be looking this. Now we break. Sometimes you don't want a break, but it's the World Cup now, and everybody's looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see how they cope with the heat over there. But it's probably a good thing it's came, and he can go and he can sit down and hopefully get things sorted. If he's going to still be there, now we don't know. You hear different rumours all day, every day. I hope he gets a chance and gets some going again because
I hope so too. I really do. I hope so.
9 points is no insurmountable. Now given you've got Celtic at Ibrox right after the break. So if you win the 3 points here, it cuts the deficit. But there's got to be a change in terms of getting players back fit. And then give them the opportunity, give them a healthier squad where you can go and compete.
But historically, man, we're no a club that sacks managers. We've sacked 3 managers in their whole history. So
on paper.
We don't sack managers. We don't sack managers, and I think Gio's got more to offer.
Of course,
I think it's easy people saying, "I will go and sack the manager."
No, I agree with you, Alan.
But I'll tell you something now. Van Bronckhorst has won. I think he's won everything there is to win in the game. I'm not saying that makes you a good manager, but it makes you you'll be able to know how to handle dressing rooms. You'll be able to know how to handle things. But some of the signings that we brought in the summer,
shocking.
There's got to be question marks over them. There's got to be question marks over them.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Where we've scouted them, where they're coming from, who's putting them forward. It's just it beggars belief. The wee Turkish left back. I mean, he's about the height of Roberto Carlos. He'll need to be a superstar.
I liked him when he played his game there, and then he got injured. But
again,
he looked good.
Aye, but he's
big money signing, injured,
so small.
Yeah.
Big, but at heights. But
and then it took all that time to play him, and then when they did play him, and that's how what you're saying there. And now I'm getting back to: is he happy about what Rangers have brought in for him? I don't think so. Well,
Something's not working right.
Look at the boy Matondo, and he's only a young boy. But he's nowhere near good enough to win that Rangers team. I'm not just
Stan, I'm no football genius, but I could tell you after 30 minutes he wasn't good enough.
Aye.
And I'm not having a go at the boy. The boy's obviously went from Man City to Schalke for £11 million. And then
there must be something there.
He was loaned out to a second division Belgian team.
Yeah.
And then
we go and pay £3 million to bring him in.
Aye. No, I agree with you.
And I mean, I could pick 4 players for the English Championship. The now that we could go and strengthen and cost you under 10 million quid.
Easy.
There's a couple of boys you can bring in.
I was talking to Alec Ray last week. He's at Reading.
Aye,
and he was telling us the boy, Paul Ince's boy, is on
fire.
Yeah. Aye. He's out of contract in January.
Aye. The boy Lawrence.
The
boy Lawrence.
It'd be interesting, Jan, because now what Kent and Morelos are going to do. So if they decide they're going to go, then you'll need to strengthen. You'll need to get maybe 5 or 6 players in if you're going to lose 2 players of that quality.
I think that's bad business with the club and all, but you're not going to get the money we could have got for them.
But that's the players.
I've let their contracts run down.
Apparently the club have offered them contracts, and this is what we hear, and they've not committed themselves to the club, so that's a position to put themselves in.
What questions have we got?
Well, I was just going to say, Lee, Edgar, I personally think we're missing Jimmy Bell in the dressing room. He knew how to keep everybody on their toes. There's nobody like Jimmy Bell there now in the background.
Yeah, sadly missed. Big character. But along with having big characters dressing, you've got to have big characters on the pitch. And that's the main aim now. You could have wee Jimmy Bell, you could have Coisty, you could have the gaffer, all sorts of people, the goalie, now John Brown. But now, if when they cross that white line and they don't perform to the ability they've got, then it's the players. The players have got to. Now, we can sit here and say about the manager or the recruitment, but surely now the players, without being disrespectful, it should be good enough. The players that are playing in the weekend there to beat St Mirren. Now that's the way I look at it. Now you might have a lot of injuries, but we should be good enough to beat St Mirren.
Yeah,
there's somebody saying a question there, Lynsey.
What one?
John.
I was just going to say that there.
There's an example for you, Stan. Right, we go and spend £3 million on the boy Matondo. He's never played in the Scottish League. Doesn't know what the Scottish League is. Probably wouldn't even know where Ibrox was before we got in contact with him. And I reckon if he'd have given Aberdeen £3 million, you'd have got Lewis Ferguson. And I'm not saying Lewis Ferguson would have started every week. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is Lewis Ferguson knows what it's all about. He knows what it's all about.
He's a Rangers man.
He knows what it's all about. And that's the difference. How many of that current squad we've got just now would get anywhere near the squad that you were playing with?
Yeah, that's hearsay. For me, Lewis Ferguson has been a no-brainer for me.
Aye, well, if you just look, see his last 5 games at Bologna, he scored 3 goals. He's been man of the match 4 of the games, and Juventus.
He's flying in Italy, that guy.
He's learning, and again, by no means would he get the finished article, but he'd be a standout in that Rangers team just now.
Oh, without a doubt.
The sheep would not sell him to us, Alex McCallum's put.
I think if you give them the money, they'll sell him.
Oh, they would have.
Money talks.
He was desperate. He was desperate to come to Rangers. He's a Rangers boy, you
course
know
he is.
that, and a nice boy to boot. But he'd have worked hard for Rangers. He'd have got a shift off him. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
He'd have stood out in that part there, by the way, with a lot of players are hiding. He wouldn't have had.
And I might be wrong as well, but I tend to think the coaching staff and all that are missing Rangers men, i.e.
Having a bit of identity with the club.
like an Ian, a Barry Ferguson, a Kevin Thompson, a Neil McCann, like in there been the first
Aye.
team.
Well, there's David Morrison saying should have went and got Doig, Ramsey and Ferguson for all under 10 million.
Aye.
Again,
That's a good point, a great point.
Again, that's two for Aberdeen. I don't think. I mean, you remember struggle to get one, they get two. But again, they're the players, as Al says now. They maybe the recruitment in terms of the Scottish players that know the league. And it's sometimes it looks great. The razzmatazz of bringing foreign players in, and it takes me a wee bit of time to adapt. Now, not getting away from the Scottish game, but sometimes it's better. You don't have to look as far as you think.
You're not
For players
surprised.
about-
You're not surprised a wee bit that he never brought any Dutch players in.
That amazes me.
Especially with the background stuff. Now, the coach come from Ajax. Mackay played now most of his career there in Holland, and also the manager, and it is a bit of a surprise.
We were linked with 3 Dutch guys. We didn't even get anywhere near any 3 of them.
No.
The big centre half, Doki, Xavi Simmons, we were linked with him and all, and the boy Veerman. We never
No,
got
we never-
anywhere near any 3
The
of them.
boy Vierman's a cracker too.
Yeah, and he'd have cost a few bob, but we
Aye.
were linking them, or where we were linking them, was it just paper talk?
Usually, if a manager comes in for a country, he knows that
Of course it
league,
is.
and he'll bring a couple of guys in.
Well,
with
the
him.
perfect example was Dick, and Dick.
He put Truman in.
No, but they were all quality.
aye.
I think that signings were unbelievable.
Newman,
Oh, I know.
Big Bertie, obviously Gio. Now they all come in. And,
He signed the board with one knee, and he was still outstanding, wasn't he?
he was an excellent player. He can still play with one knee, Stan.
Oh, yeah, well, I know that. But no, he didn't. He couldn't bend his knee.
Like
And he
Newman
was
and that and
brilliant. He
all.
was
Yeah,
class.
but he knew the Dutch players, and he knew they could handle the mentality of playing for Rangers.
Aye.
As I was, we're bringing in players, but we're bringing in young players with potential, and it's a lot of potential when you're playing at Rangers and you need to win every week.
Aye.
You need to win it every, and now
And-
sometimes they'll be playing for other clubs, and they'll get away with maybe 2 losses, but not at Ibrox. It's unacceptable.
And that's how I feel sorry for the boy Leon King a wee bit, what we were talking about there. He's 18-year-old and he's flung into that defence and we're losing games. He should have an experienced centre half for him, talking him through the game, and we're doing well and winning
He's
games.
playing against Edinburgh City in that last season.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the difference.
Aye. And-
And you're asking me to play against Mo Salah.
But
Aye.
your main one's injured, so you just got to get on it. And again, I said to you earlier, that comes with the territory. If you're putting it at the deep end, go and take your chance.
Somebody came up with a statistic to me the other week there, and I didn't realise it, right? See, in the midfield, we paid 1.2 million for Edu, Morris Edu. Do you know we've never paid by that 1.2 million since we signed
I
him?
think we paid a wee bit more than that for Edu.
I thought it was 1.2.
I think it might be 2.2.
Well, we've never paid.
No, that's right.
Who was
Never-
our most
that's right.
expensive signing?
Who?
Who was our most expensive
Sorry,
signing?
Andy Flo.
Tory and
Flo.
Flo,
Aye,
aye.
12 million quid. And see, when you look at Torrey Angie Flo, he gets slaughtered as well. But see if you look at his goals per games
Goals
ratio,
per game.
Just because of the money we paid for him,
Aye,
they
it's,
wanted more out of him, but he was
aye.
a good player.
he's got some amount of goals. He scored like a goal every second game.
What was the
Aye.
question?
Right, that one there for Alex Kelly. Who's the best player you played with, Ian, and played against, and the maddest you played with and against? My first Rangers hero, wee man.
The best I play with, Coop by a mile. I hate singling out players. But Coop would have been my favourite, but I played in great teams, fantastic teams, great dressing rooms, and Gascoigne, madman, the goalie, madman, Bomber, madman, but madmen with a winning mentality. The whole dressing room was mad at the time. I think if you weren't mad, Walter wouldn't have signed you. I think we were walking with one for the Cuckoos now, United. But they're just great. Now, as I said, I'd pick Coop, but great dressing room. Now, it wasn't so much now when you see when you retire and people go, "Oh, do you miss the football?" No, it's a dressing room you miss. You don't miss playing football. That was just part and parcel of doing things, and we enjoyed it. And we were very successful. But the dressing room on a Monday morning, that was probably the best arena you'll ever be in your life.
Aye.
Oh, sensational. And now we started off. Now you're obviously said now you Coisty, Ball, Marine, Ferguson, McCall, Big Haley, Then Loudon would come in a bit of batter, and then later on you'd McInnes, wee Charlie Miller, and all that, Craig Moore. Now the new kids in the block, and it was sensational. It was just fun times.
Is it Alza67's asking? Ian was lucky enough to play for his boyhood heroes, but was there another team in the world football he would like to have played in? And he's still got that dodgy golf handicap.
I've still got the dodgy the golf handicap. Depends who I'm playing.
We never cheated, didn't we?
No. Just a wee home poke at one point. That's all right. There's dream teams now. The Liverpool teams, the Man United teams, the Barcelona teams. But I just the '92 team is probably the best team I played in, and I'd go to war with them anytime playing for a now like top Barcelona, Inter Milan, Liverpool. That '92 team was sensational.
I mean, I think he's won the treble that year and all, didn't he? And I think near the end of the season, he's just going for a bake and roll in the morning, they training, just too many games coming.
The Battle of Britain, we played Leeds on the Wednesday. I think we were away to Tynecastle on the Saturday. Leeds again on the Wednesday. Celtic on the Saturday. Then I think we had a free week and we played the League Cup final the next week.
And you scored against Celtic.
Is that why I brought the games up? Another one.
That was that season we went 42 games undefeated.
Unbelievable.
Undefeated in Europe as well.
And 12 games unbeaten in Europe.
Unbelievable. That'll never be done again.
Never say never.
No.
You like to think it would be.
Marseille hadn't cheated, we probably would have got to
the final. To be fair, they were. You touched on it earlier. They were not a bad team.
That game, see that home game against CSK Moscow. I've never been at a game like that in my life.
I think we hit the post, crossbars, half the line.
Was it the week before they played? They played Marseille.
He beat 7-1 or something.
It was a ridiculous score.
They were minus players with food poisoning, weren't they?
They all get food. They were playing them in France.
Sitting in Marseille and frog legs and honestly snails. Let's go.
What's the one there with them? McSkimmins here. Coop, Coisty, Fergie, Durrant, favourite all time. How much would these be worth?
Millions. Couldn't get a price on them.
Couldn't buy
them. There's another one there. David Morrison, what was Ian's favourite Rangers strip?
I love the 87, the wee pixels. They've got the similar they had then. We had the McCune's Lager with the wee button. I love that strip. And the first one you wear now, the C.R. Smith, it was just a plain with a round collar. But to get your first jersey and stick that jersey on it, it's a special one.
There you go.
Right. No, definitely.
That's it. So have you any other events that coming up, Stan, after Blackpool?
I have got the Barcelona Bears in the pub.
Again?
That's right.
On the 3rd of December.
Is this their 100th anniversary coming up?
I've got them in the pub, Lynsey, on the 3rd of December. So that there's a book, a Barcelona book coming out with Tom Miller.
The Barcelona Bears, he gave us one. It's a great read, by
Is it? So he's dropped off 50 of them to the pub and says, Stan, do you think he could sell them for me? So I'm glad it was 50. So what I've done is...
Take them to the Saturday night.
So take it a kit, man, sell the books in.
So what I've done is I'm going to get them, the 4 players I've got to sign them. And
who's all coming?
Bud and Steenie,
Stanley Waldorf,
Al McDonald,
and
DJ.
Oh, DJ, that'll be good.
Aye, so
DJ will be there at 4 o'clock.
So I'll get them. Well, I'll get them to sign it. So anybody that's listening that wants a book signed, it'll be signed for the 3rd of December.
That's a collector's up now, especially with Steenie and Bud.
We went to be Doddy's tribute night.
It was great.
Brilliant, wasn't
it? Great night.
It was brilliant.
I think a whole of Blantyre. You're only man missing Trish that night. Whole of Blantyre was there.
I was brilliant, by and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Stoneville Tavern.
We McDonald was some player.
I get your table actually.
What a player he was, man.
I get your table that night.
He's the second best player to come out of Kinnan Park.
Is he? Second best?
I don't know
who was the best?
Apparently it was Tommy Craig.
I don't know if you heard the show 2 weeks ago. We were talking about one of the things that we were talking about with wee Doddy. I thought it was brilliant. He signed this centre half of Bosnia when he was a manager of Hearts, right? So they're getting beat 1-0 at half time. He goes into the dressing room and he's going to he's shouting at everybody and he's shouting at the big centre half. You should have defended that forward there. How did you not get close to him? And the Bosnian guy goes, I don't understand. He goes, what do you not understand? Get on them tight. Don't give him any space. We can beat 1-0. It's your fault. And he went, I don't understand. Me daddy went, as if he was in an aeroplane and shooting like that. He said, you're going to get back there. That's where we're getting back. He said, if you don't start defending.
Oh my.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
There's somebody else put some. Durante, I will never forget the goal you scored against Marseille over there. What a trip.
That was a great trip. You were in the cage, weren't you?
oh.
That's what I was just going to say. That's
Aye,
the
the
first
ca-
time I
aye.
ever went to a game and they had a big net out of
Aye,
it.
but at the
And I
start
said,
of the
what's
game,
that for the next thing?
No, no.
aye, aye.
Oh, I know what it's for now.
Aye, but at the start of the game, the net was about 10 feet above you.
Aye, and then it was
full
way
time,
down,
it was like
aye.
that, right?
Oh, was
So
it?
having on top of you, aye.
Is that not a bit frightening?
That was
That
a famous one, the guy with his teeth, wasn't it? He lost his teeth in the cage. Don't hear it? Aye. My brother's that was saying, he's going, I need to find my teeth, and one of my pals turned and goes, by the way, it's no mince pies they're throwing at us, it's bricks. Honestly, he must have jumped up and his tab deck came out.
I think about the closest I've had to that Marseille was when we went to Red Spa Belgrade last year.
That wasn't clever.
Oh, see, you go with corporate, they think they're doing you a favour.
They
So
put you right in the middle of
They
them.
put you in the middle of the away fans.
Oh.
So they're trying to climb over the fence to get to the
Oh,
Rangers
man,
fans,
yeah.
right? We're sitting beside them.
Aye.
They're running by us to attack them.
And the boy, I remember the boy at half time, it was nothing each at
Aye.
half time. The boy came down and says to us in sort of broken English, if Rangers score in the second half, do not stand up. So,
Yeah.
so what happens 10 minutes into the second half?
Rangers scored.
Rangers scored, didn't he?
Oh no.
Oh, standing up, man. The boy saying like this. He says, these guys will kill you.
Honestly,
God.
it's mental.
We went to Athens one time, AK. It's now the wee tight streets in the stadium.
Aye.
And it was just a volley of stones and bricks. Now as you're coming off the bus, and now the corporate bus was just behind the players and officials bus, and they were getting pelted, and all the windows were put in. You must have. What was the Dublin trip like?
Oh, that was the worst ever.
That was the worst ever. There was no windows in the buses coming home or nothing, man.
Air conditioned throughout, all throughout, wasn't it?
But it was mental about that, right? They were flinging big slabs and trap the Rangers fans and that, right? So, seeing everybody go on the bus, before we got on the bus, we were marching up this road, and the Irish police had the batons and the screens, and they attacked the Rangers fans, and everybody was all fighting. Seeing they retreated, the Rangers fans into all the batons, the screens, come on,
What were the second leg at Ibrox? When they gave them the full Brimwell Road, none of them turned up, and the full stand was empty.
Big stand gets garden packed with one about slabs.
We were going through all the wee villages in Southern Ireland, and
it's
every village we
terrible.
got to, there was another window went in.
I know. Absolutely terrible.
Oh,
Oh,
shocking.
there's the father-in-law saying, tell Alan to get home early. We've got Blackpool in the morning.
I tell
aye.
by Billy not to worry about that. We'll be fine for there.
You tell Billy you better be.
What's the one with Jimmy Reid there? Down the bottom there?
No, that's the one. Is that the one we've just? That's the one we've just spoke
All
about.
right, aye.
Aye, that's the one. Has Durante any fave Jock Wallace stories?
Oh, big the gaffer. He was the governor. He was the top. You gave him a debut.
You can spot a player.
Well, big jock. You could either run through a brick wall or date jocks where the highway. But we're at Gullen. Big jock love Gullen, right? You know, it's like you do the wee hills and you think it's a doddle. Then you come to Murder Hill and there's big jock. He stands in the middle of Murder Hill, right? You're talking to sand. And it's hard. And he comes away with a dick. He just makes a number up a gaffer. And I think it was like 33 runs to finish with. So you're looking at this hill and we'll run up and down the hill, and you need to make now trampling the marks so you're making steps.
Aye.
But with a boy Tom Lehman, who just signed for
That's
Belfast.
right.
Oh,
right?
by the face, Belfast.
So he kept climbing through the tracks, right? And you can see Coop and Big Derek Johnson. So they're giving him a clip. So we're into about a 20th run, and it's getting a bit hard now, right? And the sun's out, and now there's a couple of players been sick on it. And you've got to remember, when you go to Gullen, now we were shut in tie for training. There's a tap of water at the top of the hill or the sea. That's where you're washing yourself.
Okay.
So a boy we just signed for Ayrshire, boy Dave McFarlane, again sadly no longer with us. So you go up to the first bit in the middle, back down, back up to the top, back down to the middle, up to the top and back down. That was your last run. That's what we call the murder run. So there's two groups. So they go up and Fermer's lost. He's getting a wee bit disorientated, right? And he's don't know. Obviously he's exhausted. and Big Jock's Big Jock's the middle of the hill with this pole.
A pole.
Aye, but as Ferner turns, he's sort of lost his balance because he doesn't know what it is. But Big Jock was making it happen on the backside, but he's cracked him in the head, right?
Oh no!
With a pole, right? And there's the young boy knocked out. What's the gaffer doing? Now, Gorilla just picked him up and threw him in the water.
He picked him up.
There was no concussion protocol. And see about 3 seconds later, McFarlane woke up. And then he goes, that'll toughen him up. And then we'll get back to the bus. He goes, what happened? And I swear to God, he does big lump.
Oh no!
The Jock was brilliant. Now, Jock liked a wee sing song before the game. Oh, fantastic, man. Brilliant,
I mean, DJ telling us that when he had just signed and that, he went up and down the bus. Everybody singing the sash.
Aye, Nichols told me some
he's
stories
like,
about him.
what you know singing for? He goes, he says, I don't know
No,
the
no,
words. He's like, hum it.
Remember we signed me Robert Pritz?
Aye.
Well, me Robert, now for Malmo, me Robert was ahead of his time. So, Big Jock used to come in and look at your boots, right? See if your studs were sharp enough, right? Get that stud up. That's not going to hurt anybody. That stud, right? So there's me Robert Pritz, right? He's got a pair of Adidas. He's like, that's it with Adidas now. Brand new Adidas. So Big Jock's like, oh, what the FRA? That's my boots, manager boss. That's my boots. What do you mean? They're moulded. Yeah, I play moulded. No, here you don't. so he's took me Britz's bits off now, right? These rubbers and all he was bump. They're in the bin, right? He goes, I don't have other boots. Which size are you? So he picked up out the boot room a pair of size 6, right? And now the big massive studs on, and he goes, right, stick him on. He goes, metal hurts more than rubber. Right? So we Pritz, first time he's ever worn now screw-ins. He missed 4 weeks with blisters in his feet. Oh, honestly, you couldn't see if he said no, he just banjo you one.
Oh, I think we're needing that now,
I think we're needing that in the dressing room now.
He would have a field day. You'd have about 4 players in the hospital with concussion with Big Jock knocking them out. Hard. But brilliant that now went to give you a cuddle, but hard as nails. But he was different class.
Again, getting back to Blackpool, mind we done the gig the soonest, me and you.
Honestly, man, Alan used to hear this.
Done me in. And he's a hint of making faces.
He ended up taking the mic off him.
He goes, all right, Graham, I've got your starts here. Right, bump. Oh, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
So, all right. And what about this one? Nah, you're wrong again. The big starts, he goes,
he's a hint of making faces going, I'm trying to be serious with him, and he's looking right, I know he's looking isn't he? And he's looking right at me, and I'm going, no, and he's a hint going, making faces.
And he's saying, just give me that mic, didn't he? Ended up taking the mic.
And then he's saying, what did you knock me out to training for? He's like, you not make me? And I'm like, oh my God, I've got to interview him here. Oh, brilliant.
You deserved it, you little bee. Another man now. There's been all sorts.
What happened that day when he nutmegged you? When you nutmegged him?
It was just England-Scotland game. And Graham trained the way he played. Now, he wouldn't take any prisoners. And we were hammering him. And he's now took a bait and he's looking about for a victim. There's me with my beehive attack. My beehive now running about 8 stone. Right, he's a victim. And he hit, I swear to God, this is on a Friday. But probably one of the worst tackles ever. Right? And just, he's trying to smash me, and it's now the wee ball wobbles. I went like, bump, up, and I've still got the bottom of my feet. Is that your best? He goes, no, as a matter of fact, this is him bang. Then you look about, and as I'm going down, I can see Coyce, he's with Graham Roberts, somebody's fight with Terry Butcher, Jimmy Rickle. Then I look on the corner, right? And there's Derek Ferguson up the square. Ferguson up the square go with the gaffer. He's going, get up. He's shouting. I'm like, now I've got a big cork in the black eye. He's going, get up. I'll take it to you. I'm like, so we go back out to the ground, right? We're all sitting in the desert, right? There's ice packs and thick lips, and everybody's cutting on it, right? And I'm going, what's going on here? What happened there? Big bit of steak, man. So next minute the door gets booted in, but it's automatic. First reaction, I've just grabbed something. I goes, oh no, he's coming for me again. so he comes running. He goes, love it. That's what I want. Passion, I love it. No, let me go. He goes, that's what we need. That'll stand us in good stead. The next day we get beat 3-2.
I mean, you would have won the fight.
No, I wasn't getting back for seconds. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Right, sorry to cut things short a wee bit here, but Stan, you want to announce our wee break that we're going to be having?
All
our
right,
wee
yeah.
Christmas?
We're going to have a wee break. We're coming back Thursday, the 22nd of December, and it'll be a Christmas special show. And we're hoping to have Willie Johnson and Colin Stino. And
That'll be great.
That'll be
So
A wee
to them.
a Barca Christmas special.
yeah, it'll be a Christmas special.
So it's a double done, and then it's
Aye.
the Stonefield on the 23rd.
Yes, and we're there
Double
the
done.
next day.
23rd of December, he's having a Christmas party.
It's usually good, isn't it?
I'll do my Christmas shopping in Boxing Day, right?
It's a good wee day, isn't it?
Aye, brilliant, aye. Till Big Marvin turns up and then eats everything.
You need to get your Indian
I
delivered.
know, aye.
Right, folks, remember to get involved by subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our Twitter, Facebook and Instagram pages. Follow We Will Legends Podcast. A huge thank you to our guests, Ian and Alan. Thanks very much for coming on. It's
Pleasure,
been a
thank
pleasure
Thanks very
speaking
much.
with you both, and thanks for entertaining our viewers.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Also, thanks to Ricky in the background for your work behind the scenes. Thanks, Ricky, for getting everybody's questions up.
Top man.
And again, we will be back on the 22nd of December for our Christmas special. So we look forward to seeing you all tuning in. Good night, everybody.
Good
And
night.
Good
God
night.
bless.
Thanks
Thank you very much.